Hey, what's up, guys? Back here with another video. I want to talk about triads today, which are just chords. It's the three most prominent notes that you need to make up your chord. Really, the only three notes you need to make up your chord. In the case of major and minor chords, anyways. This wouldn't apply to other types of chords right now. We get into that later. But that was a pretty famous chord progression. You may recognize it. It was Knocking on Heaven's Door. It's the first time, and then second time. And it just alternates back and forth like that through the whole song. I think it's a perfect song, really, to work on your triads with. Whether you're learning them on the first three strings or the second set of three strings. I think those are the two groupings of three strings that are the most important in the beginning, because it really helps people who don't know the guitar neck to learn what notes they're playing everywhere on the neck, and just seeing these chords over and over and over again. It ends up taking the neck and making it feel like it's really small, like you could really just find your chords anywhere. Hopefully some of you didn't recognize some of the chord shapes I was playing, and that's what I'm going to show you today. All right. But before I do, just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for giving the videos a like when you find them helpful, and thanks for sharing them too. Thanks for commenting. All those things help out so much, and so I really appreciate it. I've got a big influx of subscribers over the last month, and that's super helpful and certainly encouraging in terms of helping me stay motivated to make these videos. So again, if you find these helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. Also, lastly, and then I'll get right into the lesson. I do this for a living. I teach guitar lessons for a living, and I'll have that information down in the box below. But you can email me and do lessons online via Zoom or some form of a video conferencing like that. My email address is jerrywade, JERRYWADE 21 @gmail.com. So just drop me an email and get in touch, and let's get some lessons. Also, I'll link to my original music project and also my Venmo, my PayPal, and stuff like that if you feel like being generous and dropping a tip in the tip jug. All right, guys. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're gonna learn these triad shapes across the second set of three strings. And by the second set of three strings, I mean the second string, the third string, and the fourth string. Okay, you already probably recognize that shape, and you probably learned it as an F chord. It really comes out of the bigger, if we're talking cage, it comes out of the bigger E major shape, right? And we're just playing three of the strings within that shape. And we just call it a triad again because when we play a big chord like this, you have repeats of those three notes. There'll be, maybe two roots, two thirds, two fifths, depending on which chord shape you're using. Don't worry if you don't know what that means. It's not going to affect what we're doing today. All I'm trying to tell you is we're just playing three notes. Okay? Now, like I said, you may know this as an F chord, all right? But if you slide it up to the third, fourth, and fifth fret, you just change that F chord into a G chord, but it's the same exact thing, right? So what I was doing was in the second set, second time through the chord progression, I was using this shape for my G chord, and then I slid backwards into this shape, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. Okay, so like I said, our chord progression is G, D, A minor, and then G, D, C. Okay, so we need a G. Which again comes out of this G chord that's living right here at the third, fourth, and fifth frets. Now, if you think about your D chord, you already know this one. This is on the top three strings, but we want to move it so that all of the chords we're playing are on the B, G, and D strings. So only thing you have to do differently is take your second finger and put that right there on the B string at the third fret. My first finger's still on where it was on the G string, second fret. And then I'm going to reach my ring finger up here to the D string at the fourth fret. Now this comes from your cage C shape, right? But I'm just playing those middle strings, okay? Or middle. And it's very helpful because look, if I play this G, Then I just slide backwards. My ring finger stays on that string, and instead of my fingers being like B, G, they're just reversing to G and B. So it's a really comfortable shape to try. G, D, then we need an A minor. Well, guess what? You probably already know that one, right? But keep in mind, we're just playing the D, G, and B strings. And then I slide back up, G, D, and then this is C, but we don't need this third finger because we're only playing the D, G, and B strings. So you can use that shape. And as a matter of fact, that's the same shape as this. We just don't have to fret that note because the string is open. Now, you may know once you get to the 12th fret, everything just repeats. So if I wanted to see that C chord, but just the three middle strings up here and what it would look like, the triad, that's what it would look like. Same way we just played this D. It would be on the G string, B string, D string, like that. Okay? That's this is at the 12th fret, 13th fret, 14th fret. Okay? So basically you just have three shapes. Okay, now we talked about one minor one, we talked about one major one, and we talked about another major one, but we have one more major shape for that string set. So we have this one, and then the last one is going to look like this. Okay, now that's a C chord there at the 5th fret, C triad, and what you might recognize it as coming from this big caged A shape of a C major chord. But also you might just recognize that maybe you've played your A major chord like this before. Okay, that, in this case I'm hitting the A string, just demonstrating the A chord, but when we come up here we're not going to hit the A string. We're just going to hit the D, G, and B's. So it allows me to stay right in this little window. G, D, A minor, G, D, C. Now, you might ask yourself, like, why wouldn't I just want to play the big shapes? Well, the thing is maybe you're not the only guitar player in your band, and maybe the guitar player you're playing with only knows these open cowboy chords. It'd be a perfect opportunity for you to play another part, or play something different so that you guys are not doubling each other exactly, but complementing each other. Or another example might be you are making some home recordings, or you're going into the recording studio and you want to lay down different guitar parts and make it more interesting. Well, one guitar could play the open cowboy chords and you strum. And the other one could layer an arpeggio style part. Okay, all right, so let's find them somewhere else. Now, except for, this D major, and that's a triad on the top three strings. And if we move it up, D, we move it up 2 frets, now it's E major. Move it up 1 more fret, it's F major. Move it up 1 more fret, and it's G major. And then what we did with this shape last time to move it to the next string set. We took this finger up 1 string, and then we went like this. And so here's our G. Test it. The notes are in a different order, okay, but it's the same chord, G major. So now our G looks like this up here, and our D looks like the C we played because we just moved that C up 2 frets. There's a D. So look how easy that is if you're already borrowing it, right? A minor. Okay, so that's a new minor shape for us, right? We're grabbing the G and the B on the 5th fret, and then we're going to reach out with our ring finger and get the D string at the 7th fret. Let's test it. Same chord, same triad. Okay, so we have G, D, A minor. Okay, G, D, C, or we have that other shape that we haven't used yet. G, D, C. Remember that one? That's where our C is, because this C chord lives at the 8th, 9th, and 10th fret. Okay? So we have G, right? We have D, we have this A minor, and then we have G, D, C. Okay? So, let's see. We also could do some other things here, right? So let's look at all of our G's, all of our D's, all of our C's, and all of our A minors. Let's figure that part out. Okay, so we have a G here. Whoop, sorry, wrong strings. And then the last one is going to look like this. Those are the 3 shapes. Now they're always going to appear in the same order. Watch. So that, and then the next one was this, and then the next one was this. Okay? If I'm going too fast, just slow the video down. You hit the settings wheel and toggle down to a slower setting, or you can just watch this a bunch of times. But this is at 3, 4, 5 on D, G, B. This is at what's it called? 9, 7, 8. And then this is 12, 12, 12. Okay? That's our G's. So then for D, we're going to start here. That's the first D that we have. So remember what shape came after that. What was this one? Right? So then what shape haven't we used yet? Well, it's right here. It's at 10, 11, 12, or 12, 11, 10, however you're thinking of it. Right? It's a good idea to play these backwards. Go up. Okay. The next chord was A minor. So we knew this was our first A minor. Here's our next A minor. Right? Our next A minor is a little bit weird. Looks like this. Some of you might recognize that. Kind of looks like a major 7 shape. Don't worry about what that is if you don't know. But what I'm getting is I'm getting my ring finger on B10, my middle finger on D10, and then my index finger is playing 9G. That's an A minor chord. Okay? So now we have G, D, A minor, and so now we need C. Well, our first C, we could play this and use an open string, so we'll go ahead and play it, just so you know it, right? We're just, it looks like this, but we're not using that string. The next one's gonna look like this, okay? Next one's gonna look like this. And then let's go one higher for C so we can get the actual full triad shape, okay? Okay, here's a little bonus for you. Whoops, I played it in the wrong order. So it's that's just playing on the high 3 strings. In case you didn't see the other video. D, A minor. I'm just on the G, B, and high E strings now, and then G, D, slide it backwards for C. Okay, this chord shape is just right. That's for your D, that's for your A minor, that's for your G, and we'll slide up there for C. Okay, or we could do this, which looks like this up here. Okay, you already know that that's G, right? So let's do all our G's. G on the top 3, okay, and then those are our 3 shapes. So then D, 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 okay, and then we have A minor, right? A minor. A minor looks like a D minor, you probably think, and then, right? And then we have C. So we'll start with this one. Well, we'll start with this one. Just one finger. Okay, now if you learn all these shapes, that's the top 4 strings. It'll give you something different to play in your band or on your recording. And it really just helps you open up the neck of the guitar. All right, so maybe we'll do a deeper dive with another song and that concept another time. If you've watched the video this long, thanks. I really appreciate it. And you're helping me out a lot. So I will see you in the next one. It takes nothing to be kind, guys. Remember that.